We're playing Poison Storm, the deck that uses counters such as the ones on Pentad Prism, Saprazzan Skerry, and then wins with cards like Experimental Augury that have Proliferate, and then Infectious Inquiry that poison the opponent. So we're still counting to 10, but in a new way. Let's go check it out. This video is proudly sponsored by Card Market. Oh, how the time flies. It has been 2.5 months since the last time I played this deck. You can find that video in the card above, and I had such a blast playing it. I bought the deck in Japanese foil. That's how much I love Poison Storm, the deck that we're playing today. And today we're making a bit of an adjustment because the metagame has changed. Snap is a card that I've wanted to play in this deck since its inception back when I believe it was 1 came out. And I mentioned it in the video way back then. In fact, you can find that video on the card above too. So I've recorded this deck twice. This will be my 3rd time recording it. And the metagame has never really been right for Snap until now. With the Brood Scale combo deck all over, Snap makes perfect sense because it allows you to interact on an axis where Weather the Storm isn't relevant. And we like that. Plus, Snap into the Weather the Storm gains you additional life. So that's sweet. But what I really like about Snap is the untap 2 lands clause, because in a deck with Saprazzan Skerry, Peat Bog, and Hickory Woodlot, you get to untap those lands that make 2 mana, and then get 2 more mana onto them, generating 4 mana total. We like that, but it also produces extra blue mana, which means that you're able to have more stormy turns where you're making more and more blue mana that allow you to keep on going for effects like Lorien Revealed, Steady Progress, Experimental Augury, and Contentious Plan. If you're unfamiliar with how the deck works, we want to poison our opponent with Infectious Inquiry. That gives them the first poison counter, and then we use Contentious Plan, Experimental Augury, and Steady Progress to proliferate. So we'll increase that poison counter on the opponent until they get to 10 and die. But we have effects like Pentad Prism, Hickory Woodlot, and then these other lands, including Everflowing Chalice, which is an artifact, not a land, but that you can proliferate onto those and increase the counters on there. So when you untap the Saprazzan Skerry with Snap, ideally, it will have a bunch of counters on it because you've proliferated with Experimental Augury and Contentious Plan. That is the main deck for today. In the sideboard, we have Bring the Ending. This counterspells land destruction out of the pawns of the decks. We have Deep Analysis for the control deck, so that way we don't run out of steam. We have Anoint with Affliction. Once again, this is for that Brood Scale combo matchup. You want to take out Weather the Storm, bring in Anoint with Affliction, an easy 4/4 swap. Very macabre for the graveyard-based decks in the format, and then Moment's Peace, which probably swaps with Snap in those go-wide aggro matchups. That is my deck tech for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I hope you stick around and enjoy the rest of the video while we count to 10 in a new way, in Pauper. Let's go check it out, and I will see you in the first match. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Match number 1, we're on the draw, and I will keep. Let's see what our opponent's up to. Into Arbor Elf, so likely the green ramp deck. So there's 2 flavors. There's Ponza and then Pure Ramp. The Pure Ramp version has been more popular recently. So we will play our Hickory Woodlot and pass. So on turn 2, we could snap the Arbor Elf. The downside is that I don't have, like, if this was a Saprazzan Skerry, we would be in amazing shape. We're just not there yet. 2 mana. They cycle a Generous Ent. Okay. They play their Forest and a Utopia Sprawl. Yeah, they have 3 cards left in their hand here. We'll draw, contentious plan. So I could try to snap here, but I'm not sure if it's actually worthwhile. So they're going to have 6 mana next turn. I think I'm going to roll the dice and just contentious plan, so that way I don't lose my Hickory Woodlot. We draw a Chalice. That's not terrible. We will pass the turn. Okay, they're making 6 mana. Boarding party? Yep. So I knew this was a possibility. I chose to not snap the Arbor Elf. All right, the boarding party is entered. We'll take 6 down to 14. They still have 3 cards in hand. Infectious Inquiry. We'll play Hickory Woodlot. So the problem is that Hickory Woodlot doesn't tap for colors that we're interested in here. Okay, so let's snap the Arbor Elf, floating a green, and then I'll untap the island in the new Hickory Woodlot. I'll play Everflowing Chalice for 1, so I'm going to have a green mana floating. We will cycle Lorien Reveal to thin our deck of an island, and now we will contentious plan and proliferate. We drew another snap. Okay, pass the turn. We were trying to get to a point where we can get ahead. It's just tough with the position we're in at the moment. So we're going to go to 8. Our opponent plays mana number 6. They replay the Arbor Elf. Eldrazi Repurposer. Okay. Another Infectious Inquiry that I cannot cast. Let's play the island. I'll float blue, and then I'll tap a Hickory Woodlot for green. We will snap the Repurposer, because right now they have me going to 1 next turn. We'll untap the 2 islands, and now we will play Insight, and we can proliferate again. And I'm punished for leaving open a blue with a Weather the Storm that I draw into here. We will play Everflowing Chalice for 1. So if I don't play the Everflowing Chalice and I draw exactly Lotus Petal, Weather the Storm would be great. But I don't like the idea of having to draw into exactly Lotus Petal. Okay, pass the turn. So currently their attack puts me to 1 life. They play the Annoyed Altasaur, which finds a Rumble. They can play the Rumble here, which hits another boarding party, and they put that boarding party to their hand. So next turn, they are going to deal me a lot of damage. So 6, 12, 13, 19 damage coming in next turn. They did not attack with the Arbor Elf. That's interesting. They untap a land. They have 5 mana available right now. And they replay the Repurposer. So now they have 22 damage next turn. We draw another Weather. Okay, I guess we'll start off with an Insight. We hit Snap. That's interesting. I still don't have any black mana though. Alright, so I think I'm priced into playing the island. And then we will snap the Annoyed Altasaur. Bounce or untap these 2 islands, and that allows me to play Lorien Revealed. I hit another snap, but I think I'm supposed to hold that. So Weather the Storm for 12. I'm sorry, for 4. So that's 12. Weather the Storm for 5. So I believe that keeps me alive here. I mean, I could throw a snap in the middle, but I lose my Pentad Prism, and I need the Pentad Prism in order to win. So sorry, I'm taking a long time to think about this, but this is an important decision. So 12 plus 15 is 27. We have 29. Next turn they play Boarding Party. 13, 15. That's I believe that's enough. So we'll weather again, pass the turn. Okay, Snap has looked decent so far, despite me being sort of stuck on colors. They play another Boarding Party, and they hit an Arbor Elf. Sure, they untap the forest, and now they replay the Annoyed Altasaur, which hits a Utopia Sprawl. Yep, you got it. And now they'll attack for 15. What a game. It's a good one to start off the league, that's for sure. So I'm at 14, and now we're in a critical turn where, depending on our draw steps, we're in great shape. All right, so tap for green. We'll play Pentad Prism for... Okay, I'll tap this for green, play Everflowing Chalice. We'll leave 1 green floating. Remove a black here, and we will Infectious Inquiry. That looks good to me. And now we'll play an Insight. And now we can start proliferating on the opponent. So we target them first, and then target all of our stuff. Another Pentad Prism, that's the dream. Okay, we'll play the Lotus Petal, play the Island, and now we'll play the Pentad Prism. So now that makes 2 colors, and now these 2 spells are free. So I'll sacrifice the Lotus Petal, and let's contentious plan. So they'll go up to 3 poison. Okay, we'll draw a random card. Another Experimental Augury, that's so good. Okay, we will Experimental Augury. We might just win this turn. Take the Infectious Inquiry, and now we proliferate. Okay. I'm going to tap the Everflowing Chalice for 6 and try to save one of the colored mana off of these prisms. Let's Experimental Augury again. Take the Contentious Plan. They'll go up to 5 poison. Okay. We'll cast the Contentious Plan. They'll go up to 6 poison. We drew a Peat Bog. I'm going to... Maybe I should hold off on Snap. Tap this for 6. We'll remove for a black. Play Infectious Inquiry. They'll go up to 7 poison. Another Infectious Inquiry in a land. We'll play another Infectious Inquiry. They'll go up to 8 poison. Lorien Reveal doesn't do it here. So we'll play another Infectious Inquiry. And then we just need any card that proliferates. That did not do what we wanted. We'll play Lotus Petal. So we can hardcast a Lorien Revealed here. We will snap the Annoyed Altasaur, untap 2 islands. Okay, all in on this Lorien Revealed. Well, we hit a Weather the Storm. I'll take Weather the Storm here. That buys me time. Weather the Storm for Storm 17. I am down to 14 minutes on clock, so I hope we win game number 2 quickly. Or lose game number 2 quickly. I feel like the snaps this game were great. I'm not sure if I even want to sideboard those out. They cascade into Colossal Dread Mask. Another boarding party. Sure. Avenging Hunter, you've got it. And our opponent just concedes. So I was really impressed by Snap there. I was talking to someone that works on this deck a lot, Calclies, or Calclees, however you would like to pronounce it. And they say that Moment's Peace is very good in this matchup. I don't want to board out Snap. So if I'm boarding in Moment's Peace, I'm taking out a couple copies of Weather. I think you want to leave some number of Weathers in the deck just so that way Infectious Inquiry doesn't get shut off. So we'll try bringing in 2 copies of Moment's Peace. There's no land that taps for 2 in this hand. That's a little bit of a concern. I think I'll keep it anyway. Like, we do have the Everflowing Chalice. I think that might be good enough. We're on the draw. We have Experimental Augury. I'm just saying that there's the possibility we draw into a land that we want anyway. Our opponent's taken a mulligan and has kept 6. First turn, Utopia Sprawl. Another Lotus Petal. All right, I'm going to do something that I normally don't do here. I'm going to play Everflowing Chalice on the first turn. They cycle Generous Ent. They pick up a forest. They play that forest. Utopia Sprawl. They have 3 cards remaining. Gorilla Shaman. Well, that's going to punish my play. Yikes. Okay, and we draw Pentad Prism. We'll go grab an island, play it and pass. Maybe I should sideboard out Everflowing Chalice if they're bringing in Gorilla Shaman. They cycle another Generous Ent for a basic forest. They attack for 1, I'll go to 19. Another Pentad Prism. Let's play Augury. I don't want to play Pentad Prism for 1. While we find a Saprazzan Skerry, we cannot proliferate onto anything. We are not in a good spot here. Play the Skerry, pass the turn. They can blow up our Pentad Prisms, but it will take 5 mana to do so. Avenging Hunter. I am not liking my odds based on her hand. They pick up another forest, and they attack for 1. Another Pentad Prism. We'll play it. Pass the turn. They put 2 counters on the Avenging Hunter, 6 mana for a boarding party. They have Pyroblast. Okay, that is not in the stock list, so it's good to know about. I'm just so far behind here. You know what? I'm going to concede. I don't think I'm capable of winning this game based on her hand. Let's just go to the next game. We'll take out Everflowing Chalice, bring in Deep Analysis, and we'll bring in 1 more of each of these effects. On the play for game 3. It's a little bit sketchy, but I'll keep. Play the Saprazzan Skerry, pass the turn. Forest into Arbor Elf, Lorien Revealed. So we're going to cycle the Lorien Revealed. We'll go grab an island, play the island, play Lotus Petal. We'll play Pentad Prism, and we will pass. Utopia Sprawl, they choose red. Another Utopia Sprawl, they choose red again. 4 cards remain. So they did not attack, which means they could be sitting on a Pyroblast. We will cycle Lorien Revealed, grab another island. We draw an island. We will just Infectious Inquiry if they're going to hold open Pyroblast, and now we'll pass. Boarding party. Wild Growth. Sure. We get hit for 6. We go down to 12. They have 3 cards in hand. Okay, so I think we want to start with a steady progress here. Or maybe it's better to do Experimental Augury. We'll Experimental Augury into 3 lands. Okay. Maybe I should have held my island. Okay. So now, tap for a blue. We'll snap the boarding party. And if I untap island, I don't think it matters. I guess if I draw something off of the... Okay, so I think it's actually better to do island here, because this way I'm not burning a charge counter on the Pentad Prism. So now we'll steady progress. And another Pentad Prism. I could weather the storm and gain 12 here. That's probably worth it. Pass the turn. They're going to make some more mana. Boarding party is back. Avenging Hunter. That's scary. If they have Pyroblast here, I'm actually in trouble. And they held it open on turn 2, because the only action card in my hand is this Lorien revealed. Alright, still 4 cards in hand, 3 open mana. Another Infectious Inquiry. So next turn, they put 2 charge counters here, and then they attack for 14. So I'm going to be very close to death. I don't think I have much of a choice. I'm going to attempt a Lorien revealed. That resolved. Unfortunately, Deep Analysis is not what we need here. Play the Peat Bog. Pass the turn. So they go to Forge. This is 13. I'm dead if they have another Avenging Hunter. No, they scryed. Interesting. So they're digging for something, and they put 2 cards on the bottom. So now they'll attack for 11. I'm at 7. They have all the mana in the world. They hardcast Generous Ent. Yep. Need another land. Okay, so we need some good draws here, or else I'm probably just... I mean, I have to have good draws here, or else I'm dead. So I guess we'll start with a Pentad Prism. Infectious Inquiry down to 5. Okay. What does a winning game look like? I think I have to lose my Saprazzan Skerry. This way I keep the Pentad Prisms around. We'll play Hickory Woodlot. Experimental Augury. Moment's Peace. We'll take the Augury. Proliferate onto them. They go up to 5. Yeah, I really need to find like another Moment's Peace. Or my first Moment's Peace, actually. Experimental Augury. Weather the Storm for 15. Is that enough? So 7, 12, 17. If they have no damage, it's enough. We'll take Weather the Storm. Proliferate. So I've seen a lot of my deck at this point, and we have not found any of the Moment's Peace. Weather the Storm for 15. So I go back up to 20. I'm dead to another boarding party now. So they get to make a treasure token. Still with 4 cards in hand, and they just like haven't been doing much. So I don't understand what they're sitting on here. I mean, you have all the mana in the world. Like, you should attack with your Arbor Elf. They disagree. Okay. I am at 4. They hardcast an Oliphant. For some reason, I get to untap again. We draw the other Deep Analysis. I guess I probably want to leave open Hickory Woodlot in case I draw into Moment's Peace. They'll go up to 7 poison. We will play Saprazzan Skerry. Play Lotus Petal. I'll use a charge counter off of the Pentad Prism. We will snap on the Oliphant, untap the Skerry and Peat Bog. So the question is, do you Deep Analysis here, or do you Lorien Revealed? I don't know the answer. I'm going to Deep Analysis, I think, because I can always flash back and see more cards. Steady Progress. Okay, so this gets me a little bit closer to winning. They're going to untap their land. Do you have a way to like exile Deep Analysis? They cycle the Oliphant. They cycle Generous Ent. So they're just trying to burn my clock here. They go up to 8 poison. Okay, draw a random card. Insight. That does not help me here. We're in a really tough spot. So I have to Deep Analysis down to 1 life. I don't think I have a choice. So draw 2. Contentious Plan. Did we just lose? I guess I have to hit exactly another 2 mana Proliferate spell. That's the only way I can win that I can think of. Or like a Moment's Peace or a Weather. Okay, real nail biter here. We hit the Moment's Peace. I mean, we saw a lot of cards that game. So I'm not going to say I'm due or I'm owed. But it did feel like we had to draw one at some point. Alright, I'm just going to cast this Moment's Peace now. Can you deal me a single point of damage? You can swing all you want. I'm not taking any damage here. Contentious Plan. That was a really exciting match. We won it. We're 1-0. 4 more left. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2, we're on the play. Nope. Sorry, not keeping. This seems decent. We'll bottom probably the Deep Analysis. Alright. Our opponent also mulliganed. Plays Saprazzan Skerry, pass the turn. Island. Into Ponder, you've got it. They shuffled. Peat Bog. We'll play the Bog. I think I just want to make sure that I resolve Pentad Prism, so I'm going to burn the Lotus Petal here. We'll play the Pentad Prism, remove a charge counter, play the Contentious Plan, and we drew the Infectious Inquiry, so I'm liking our current spot. They play land number 2, Careful Study. I'm not sure what they're playing. Sneaky Snackers. So this might just be like Dimir Terror? I've never seen Careful Study in that deck though. And then they Thought Scour. And it is in fact Terror. We draw a Lotus Petal. Let's begin by playing Infectious Inquiry here. We just want to give them that initial poison counter. We'll play our island. Let's play the Everflowing Chalice for 1. And then Experimental Augury. I'll take another Experimental Augury, Proliferate, play the Lotus Petal, we'll remove a counter from the Pentad Prism, and then Experimental Augury again, we'll take the Lorien Revealed, charge counter on them, and then the rest of our permanents. Land number 3, they Brainstorm, the Sneaky Snackers will return. Okay, Cryptic Serpent, sure. We draw a Saprazzan Skerry. Let's just begin with casting Lorien Revealed. We find a snap. That's good. We'll play Skerry. Let's snap the Cryptic Serpent. We'll untap 2 blue sources. Let's Experimental Augury. Take the Contentious Plan. Proliferate. Okay, so I currently have 1 floating. If I play the Contentious Plan, it's -1 mana. So I'd lose all of the charge counters on my Pentad Prism if I started on the Contentious Plan. So instead, I'm just going to hardcast the Lorien Revealed. Yeah, that was not very good. We will pass the turn. They replay Cryptic Serpent. And another Cryptic Serpent. I need to draw into something good here. We'll take 4 down to 14. Another Contentious Plan. Let's start on Contentious Plan. So they'll go up to 5 poison. Another Contentious Plan. We'll tap the Everflowing Chalice for 5. Play Contentious Plan. They'll go up to 6 poison. Another Weather, so that keeps us alive. Get another Contentious Plan, they go up to 7. Infectious Inquiry, that's good. So now they go up to 8 and we'll draw 2 cards. An Insight and another Inquiry. Okay, so tap this. I think I'll play the island from hand. I believe that's the game. So now they go up to 9. We'll target our stuff. And then we'll just play another Infectious Inquiry. This way I don't have to click on the Proliferate. Boom! Tried to play this game very aggro-based, which I don't think is the way you want to play it. But we got to benefit, so I'm all in on that. All right, we want Bring the Ending. And we'll take out Weather the Storm. You could bring in Fairy Macaques for Sneaky Snackers. I just don't know if that's what the matchup is about. You probably want Deep Analysis. I'm willing to board out one Everflowing Chalice here. I think I want all of the snaps just to bounce their large creatures, buy some time. Actually, I think I'd rather do 3 snap. This is going to be okay. Game number 2. This is a 1-lander. I don't think I'm allowed to keep this. We will mulligan. I do want this though. Put back the Lotus Petal. First turn island. We'll play Hickory Woodlot, pass. So the reason I'm leading on Hickory Woodlot here is that if I have to tap a land on turn 2 to play Everflowing Chalice, I'd rather the land with colors I don't care about gets the depletion counter removed. They hoodwink my land. Sure, we'll play it again. Pass. We'll play Saprazzan Skerry, pass the turn. I'd rather wait until I can play Bring the Ending. Land number 4, they have 5 cards in hand. They Thought Scour themselves, hit a Dispel, and that is a Tolarian Terror. So they have a clock. We'll play Peat Bog, play Everflowing Chalice for 1, and then we will Steady Progress. Another Infectious Inquiry, pass the turn. Terror is a little awkward because if we want to snap it, the snap costs 4 due to the ward. We boarded out all of our Weather the Storms. So we need to get a move on. Cryptic Serpent. The clock is here, so we'll take 5. There's a snap. Let's start with Infectious Inquiry. They counter spell. We'll tap for 2 blue. How do I want to play this? I think I'm going to use Everflowing Chalice here. I'm going to bounce the Cryptic Serpent, and we'll untap these. And then we'll Bring the Ending on the counter spell. Now we'll draw 2. Pentad Prism. Okay. So we're going to lose the Saprazzan Skerry. We'll play Pentad Prism. And now we'll play the Saprazzan Skerry. Experimental Augury. Take the Contentious Plan. Give them a poison. So now they're up to 2. Play the Contentious Plan. They go up to 3. And we will pass the turn. Cryptic Serpent is back. They have 3 cards still in hand. Another Cryptic Serpent. That is terrifying because now I need to win. I guess I could draw into double snap to stay alive, but there's only 2 snaps left. I'm not loving my odds here. Another Insight. Let's play Insight floating a black. That was not very good. Okay. I think I'm supposed to play another Insight. Is the mana for the Everflowing Chalice worth it? I don't know. We're going to play the Chalice for 1. I don't know if it's correct or not. And then we'll play Insight. They'll go up to 5 poison. Okay, let's play the island. We'll play Lotus Petal. Play Pentad Prism for 2. Use the Lotus Petal, and then we'll use a charge counter from the Pentad Prism. We'll Experimental Augury up to 6. They have Dispel. Yep. Okay, so I think we're just dead here. Infectious Inquiry. Yeah, we're dead. All right, next game. They came out with the tempo, and I could not keep up. I really don't want to leave in like Weather the Storm or Moments Peace. I'm just going to resubmit. I was on the draw, which was probably the difference there. And we've opened up a strong hand. Lead on Peat Bog, pass. They just play Island Go. And if they're not in a rush, neither are we. We'll just play a land and pass. They play an island, steady progress. So let's play Lotus Petal and a Pentad Prism. That resolved, we'll play another. Pass the turn. End step, they Brainstorm. And then Thought Scour. I'm going to respond here. We will steady progress. Thought Scour can happen. Deep analysis and a careful study. Land number 3. We will play Hickory Woodlot and pass the turn. They play a Brainstorm, and it looks like they're forced to redraw one of the cards. They have a stop in their draw step, which is a little bit odd, but you're allowed to do that. Land number 4. 5 instants and sorceries in their graveyard for Tolarian Terror or Cryptic Serpent, and it's a terror. Yep, Infectious Inquiry. That was a decent draw. Let's play it. We will bring the ending on their counter spell. And we'll draw 2. We did not draw any cards that proliferate, which is a little awkward. I'm going to play the Chalice on 1. And we will pass. Land number 5, they have 5 cards in hand. Another Tolarian Terror. Yeah. Cryptic Serpent. Steal Sabotage on the Chalice. I'm not going to counter that. Yeah, you got it. We'll take 5, down to 13. Whew, we drew a Contentious Plan. That was a very good draw for us. We will begin with Contentious Plan. I could play the Chalice, but I'd have to lose one of these permanents, and it's not worth it to me. Steady progress. All right, now we'll play the Chalice for 1. Tap for mana, tap for mana. We will snap on the Cryptic Serpent. We will bring the ending on the Dispel. Okay. Untap the Skerry and Hickory Woodlot. Remove charge counters from our Pentad Prisms. And we will steady progress. They'll go up to 3 poison. Okay. We're starting to get somewhere. Experimental Augury. They'll go up to 4 poison. We'll take another Augury. We'll play the Augury. They're up to 5 poison. We'll take the Insight. Proliferate. And now we will play the Insight. Floating a colorless. They go up to 6 poison. Snap is interesting here, but it costs 4. We can play Lotus Petal, use the Hickory Woodlot, burn the Lotus Petal. Let's bounce a Terror. And then we have to pay the ward 2. Yes. Untap the Skerry and a Peat Bog. And now we can Lorien Revealed. Draw 3. Okay, we fizzled. I have to pass. I mean, that was quite the turn for us, but I ran out of steam. Land number 6. So I know that their last 2 cards in hand are creatures, because I bounced them. So I could counter this, and then that means that no matter what, I get to try to win on our turn, but I'd have to hit a draw spell. If I let this go, and then counter a creature, it buys me 2 turns. But I would need them to not find a counter spell. Deep Analysis Flashback. I'm going to let it go. They play the Terror. All right, I need to counter this if I want to live. So we will bring the ending on the Cryptic Serpent. Wait, no, I'm still dead. My math must have been off. Because next turn they're swinging for 10. I don't know what I was thinking. So it just doesn't matter. I have to draw an action spell here. And it is Infectious Inquiry. That's not a bad one. All right, come on, deck, pretty please. That's what I'm talking about. We'll play Lotus Petal. Infectious Inquiry again. They'll go to 8 poison. We'll play Insight. Our opponent said GG, but I do not have it yet. Okay, well now I do. I have said GG's back. We'll play the Skerry, Experimental Augury. They said that they love Poison Storm. That's nice. All right, well we have defeated Mono Blue Terror. We're 2-0. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. We are on the play for match number 3. Am I supposed to keep this? I think I'm actually supposed to go to 5. This is better than the other hands. We will keep it. I believe you're supposed to bottom Lotus Petal and a Peat Bog. Play the Peat Bog, pass. They play a Forest. Skerry, okay. So next turn we can hardcast Lorien Revealed, undo our mulligan. They cycle Oliphant. So this is probably the Gruul ramp deck. I suppose it could also be the dredge deck, but I doubt it. It's more likely to be the ramp deck. Weather, so let's draw 3, pass the turn. We did not hit a cheap Proliferate spell there, which was concerning. Eldrazi Repurposer. Well, there's a Contentious Plan. That was great. So we'll play this first. So you might be wondering, why not play the Infectious Inquiry first? I don't want to lose my lands. Keeping the lands around is way more important to me. And now we'll play the Infectious Inquiry. Okay, I think we'll just pass. Llanowar Visionary, they draw a card. Sort of a slow, clunky draw for the opponent, but I'll take it on my mulligan to 5. An Everflowing Chalice. I believe this should just be a setup turn for us. So we'll play a Chalice on 1. Pass the turn. So they can attack for 5 here if they so choose. And they do. So I will drop to 10 life, 6 mana, for a hard cast Generous End. They are now representing lethal. Experimental Augury. We'll play Everflowing Chalice to begin. We'll play Experimental Augury. We'll take another Augury. Proliferate. I need to find a Pentad Prism or Lotus Petal to stay alive this turn. I'll play the Island. Let's Experimental Augury again. That was not good. We'll take the Insight. They go to 3 poison. Am I dead? I might be. Yeah, because I can't keep open 2 different colors. I think I might just be dead here. Well, I hit the Pentad Prism. I guess I can Pentad Prism. Yeah, I could stay alive here. It's not the play that I want to make, but I can do it. So I will Pentad Prism for a colorless and a black. So this gets me 1 charge counter, and then I can Weather the Storm, and we'll gain 18. They attack for 8, I'll drop to 20. 6 mana for a Fang Dragon. If you're unfamiliar, this has an adventure to it that deals 1 to each creature you don't control. So it's pretty good against mono red and things like that. I think that this card's super sweet. Contentious Plan. Let's start on that. And I'll play a Hickory Woodlot, because I think I'm going to get another turn, assuming that I don't win, which is a pretty good assumption. Snap. Well, Snap was incredible here. So we'll tap one of our chalices. We're going to float some mana. We'll bounce the Fang Dragon, untap a Saprazzan Skerry and an island. We will now play the Insight, using a bunch of colorless mana. Proliferate onto them. Yeah, like, the snaps in the deck allow you to play this more like a Storm deck and win in 1 turn. It's just so nice. Our opponent says that they love the Epic Storm YouTube channel. All of my opponents today are so nice. Alright, we'll play the Everflowing Chalice for 1. And then we'll tap an island. Let's snap... Oh, hold on. I should float blue off the Skerry. We'll snap the Generous End. Yeah, snap just seems incredible here. Like, it has looked amazing all league. We'll play Lorien Revealed. Okay. Tap the Skerry. We'll play Contentious Plan. Proliferate again. Infectious Inquiry. I believe we just have lethal. We will Experimental Augury. 3 lands. They go up to 8. And then we'll tap this. Tap this. Infectious Inquiry. Infectious Inquiry. And that is lethal. Boom! We have taken game number 1. I do not remember how I sideboarded in that first match. I remember at the end we ended up on like a 3-3 split with Moment's Peace and Weather, but what did I board out? I like the snaps. I'll just do 2-2. Submit. The old 1-lander again. So you really can't keep hands without a charge counter land, or well, you shouldn't. So I don't think I'm supposed to keep those. We'll go to 5. This hand stinks, but we're supposed to keep it. Bottom the Moment's Peace and the Insight. They have a first turn mountain. Not a good start for them. We'll play Hickory Woodlot. Pass the turn. They lightning bolt me. Interesting. So maybe they're not on the version with like a bunch of Utopia sprawls and stuff. Maybe they're like a bigger build. They must be. What did they take here? They chose the Forest. Interesting. Lotus Petal. We'll play the Everflowing Chalice for 1. I think they're on a larger build that's probably there to win the mirror. 4 mana for a Writhing Chrysalis. Sure. Nope. So my opponent hit F6 and I hit F6 to the Writhing Chrysalis and it just skipped my turn. I need to quit doing that. That's twice in 2 days I've recorded a video and that's happened to me. Now I'm playing from behind. Yeah, I need to quit hitting F6. I even hit the undo. There's a right click undo or turn off auto yields that usually undoes it. But if you don't do it fast enough, and I believe I did because it went into combat, but it turns out that I was wrong. Another steady progress. Next turn, they're attacking for a lot. 7, 11. So Infectious Inquiry puts me pretty low. All right, I think I have to get rid of the Hickory Woodlot. We'll play Pentad Prism. We will Infectious Inquiry. I go to 12. Play the Hickory Woodlot. We'll play the Lotus Petal. And I'm going to Experimental Augury because if I hit a Weather the Storm, we can gain some life back. Snap. I don't think Snap is actually that great here. I'll take the Augury. Okay, please don't kill me. So currently they can put me to 1 based on what they have in play. It's worth noting that a Malevolent Rumble also kills me. 3 mana. Eldrazi Repurposer kills me too. They just have to see the line. And that'll do it. Okay, we can go to the next game. That F6 cost me that game. I'm not saying I would have won, but like there would have been a back and forth that I wasn't able to do because I skipped my turn on a mulligan to 5. So no one to blame but myself. I shouldn't be doing those shortcuts. It's just me being lazy, trying to conserve time in a deck that takes a lot of time in order to win. But it feels bad. Like, it doesn't happen that often, but in the last 2 days, it's happened to me twice, so it feels a little bit worse. On the play for game number 3. We get to keep a 7. How about that? Saprazzan Skerry, pass. I say that I'll stop F6ing, and then it was the first thing I did when I got to my opponent's turn. Never believe anything I say. Contentious plan. We draw a Lotus Petal. So next turn I can play Infectious Inquiry. They Lightning Bolt me. It's not very nice. They play a Forest. We'll play the Lotus Petal. Let's poison them. Infectious Inquiry. Play the Saprazzan Skerry. And we will Contentious Plan. Poison you. Pass. Definitely in a good spot here. They cycle Generous End. They play land 3. Eldrazi Repurposer. I'm going to begin with... You know what? We're not going to combo in this turn, so I'm just going to play Experimental Augury so I can level up my land a little bit better. We'll take the Contentious Plan. Proliferate, they go up to 3 poison. We'll tap this. Let's snap the Repurposer. Untap our 2 Saprazzan Skerries. We'll play Contentious Plan. Level up again. We draw another snap. I think snapping our opponent's Eldrazi spawn token when hoping that their F6 is a little too risky for my blood. So we will Experimental Augury. They are F6'd. I don't think that's a great line. We'll take the Infectious Inquiry. They go to 5 poison. I am not bold enough to snap an Eldrazi spawn token. They replay the Eldrazi Repurposer. Let's begin with Infectious Inquiry. They'll go up to 6 poison. More snaps. We will snap the Repurposer. And they're F6'd again. I mean, I might decide to live a little. We'll see. We'll play the Insight. They'll go up to 7 poison. There was a pause that time. I'm at 13. I don't think they can kill me from 13. I'll play the Saprazzan Skerry. I guess I don't need to play Experimental Augury now. I could just pass and hold open Snap. Yeah, and they undid their F6. So they realized that Snap could make me mana, and they didn't want to do that with their Eldrazi spawns. Boarding party! Into Avenging Hunter. They have 7 poison. I will take 6 here, going down to 7. I'm going to save these snaps for my turn so that way they can make some mana. Experimental Augury will take Infectious Inquiry. Proliferate on them. They have 8 poison. Well, that'll do, pig. That'll do. Infectious Inquiry. Player Island. Experimental Augury. Take the Insight. Sweet. So we got the match, even despite my inability to not skip my turn. We're 3-0. Let's see if maybe we can keep the train rolling and finish this with a 5-0 record. Stick around and find out. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. On the play again in the 4th round. Yeah, this seems fantastic. Keep. We will lead on Peat Bog and pass the turn. Once again, it's because I want to play Everflowing Chalice on the 2nd turn, and I don't want to deplete my land that needs blue. Voldaren Epicure. Okay, so this is likely the Madness burn deck. We'll play Saprazzan Skerry, play the Everflowing Chalice for 1. Pass the turn. Bushwhacker. Maybe it's just mono red. Another weather. We will play Experimental Augury. I think we want... Actually, should I just take the... Hickory Woodlot's probably better in this spot. We'll play the Hickory Woodlot, and then I'll play the Chalice. Pass the turn. Kuldotha Rebirth, so they're just mono red. So we're going to take a couple points here. Insight. Okay. I think I want to play Steady Progress. We find Pentad Prism. That's a good one. We'll play the Pentad Prism. And I think I'm just going to weather the storm after this. Maybe I won't. Maybe I should play the Insight. So hypothetically, I play the Pentad Prism like this. I could still weather at least once. Yeah, I think I like this play. Now we'll tap for 2. I have to make 1 blue off the Pentad Prism. We'll play Insight, floating a green. And we find our Infectious Inquiry. Okay. Let's play the Saprazzan Skerry. I'm going to snap the Goblin token, untap Hickory Woodlot, and Saprazzan Skerry. I realized that they were F6. That's not a play you can make in paper. And now we'll weather the storm, gain a ton of life here. Okay. Good luck. So now they can attack me for 4. You have a lot more life to deal. Experimental Synthesizer. They find a Goblin Tomb Raider. Should have played that pre-combat. Let's begin by casting the Infectious Inquiry. This is us poisoning them for the first time this game. We'll play another Infectious Inquiry down to 38. Tap for 2. We will play Lorien Revealed. Lotus Petal. We'll play Pentad Prism. Play Island. We're going to double weather again. Weather the storm. Weather the storm. You will not kill me. We are at 77 life. Our opponent attacks for 6 and passes the turn. We draw Steady Progress. We'll begin with... I'm going to play out the Peat Bog. We'll begin with Steady Progress. We'll put them up to 3 poison. And now we're going to level up all of our permanents. This is why the deck is sometimes called Dice Factory, because when you play this in paper, you need a lot of dice. We will play Lorien Revealed to draw 3. Deep Analysis. Let's target ourselves. We bricked. Deep Analysis again. Okay. Play out the Lotus Petal. Once again, they did not learn their lesson. They F6'd again. We'll snap a Goblin token. Untap 2 lands. Use the Lotus Petal. We'll make a green. Play Contentious Plan, Proliferate. I'm getting a little bit more bold with my snaps, as you can see. Experimental Augury. We'll play that. We'll take another Experimental Augury. If I had known, I would have played the Insight there. That would have been like one of the best insights of all time. And our opponent just concedes. Thank you. Okay, so you could bring in Moment's Peace because sometimes this deck goes wide over the snaps. But I like that snap makes mana. But it doesn't if our opponent just leaves open or doesn't F6. I think I'm just going to resubmit here. You could also try bring the ending for like Pyroblast. I'm going to resubmit. All right, I will keep this on the draw. We have Weather the Storm and Snap to slow the game down a little bit. I don't have a blue mana, but I think that's fine. We'll play Peat Bog, pass. Another Voldaren Epicure, and they use a blood token to discard Mountain. Another Lorien Revealed. We'll play Hickory Woodlot and pass. They use a blood token again. A kicked Goblin Bushwhacker. So I'm going to take 6 here. They have 3 cards remaining. I think I'm going to take the draw step here. I could have cycled Lorien Revealed on the end step, but I'm not sure that's actually the right move, because then I can't use this Peat Bog moving forward. So I'm going to cycle Lorien Revealed. We'll grab an island. We're going to bounce a Voldaren Epicure. Untap. Really wish I would have had a cheaper Proliferate spell this game, but beggars can't be choosers. I wonder if I'm supposed to burn this other snap. So then we'll bounce this, floating a green, untap, and then we weather, just to buy a little bit of time. Yeah, I mean, that was good. I mean, our opponent gets the value of the blood tokens, but I get to not die. So I think it's a fair trade. I go to 18. They discard a mountain. Kuldotha Rebirth. Yep, and I'll take 1. Infectious Inquiry. I'll play it. I'm at 15. Peat Bog. Pass the turn. I don't know if I'm going to win this one. I don't think our draw came together. Okay, I'm definitely not beating this Bushwhacker. Don't I have 1 point of damage to finish off the job? Come on. So that game, our opponent did the go wide thing, but I'm not sure if Moment's Peace is... Like, Snap was actually good. Like, if you're bringing in Moment's Peace, you're boarding out either Weather or Snap, and I ended up liking Snap. So I'm just going to resubmit again. On the play. This hand's a little clunky, but I don't think you're supposed to mulligan. Our opponent kept 7. Land, pass. Mountain into Goblin Blast Runner. We'll play Peat Bog. Pass the turn. They destroy my land. Voldaren Epicure. Very strong start for the opponent here. They still have 4 cards in hand. I'm going to Infectious Inquiry. We'll go to 14. Pass the turn. They could have sacrificed the blood token to deal me more damage. They did not. Okay, so I'm going to play the Hickory Woodlot in case I draw into Weather, because I'm going to burn this Lotus Petal to play Contentious Plan. They'll go to 2 poison, and we'll pass. They Lightning Bolt me, I'm at 9. I mean, they could have lethal. Another Lightning Bolt, I'm at 6. They have 4 damage on the table. Blast Runner and another Raise. Yeah. Double Raise this game was devastating. I don't, like, what am I supposed to do to that? Bummer. So I think we're going to lose this. We'll play the Skerry. Snap a Blast Runner. Untap. So I have 5 mana to play an Insight, but that doesn't keep me alive. I believe I'm just deterministically dead here. I guess I could draw like Petal, Petal, Weather. So we'll draw 3, and I did not. So we lose. Alright, so sometimes that happens. I mean, our opponent had a strong start. We had an okay start. We're 3-1. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? The 5th and final round, we're on the draw, and I will keep. Great Furnace, Goblin Blast Runner, we get a chance at redemption for last round. We will play Hickory Woodlot, pass the turn. Great Furnace, Implement of Combustion, Kuldotha Rebirth, what a start! Oh no, I think I'm going to get pulverized. Contentious Plan. We'll play the Pentad Prism, and then we'll play Everflowing Chalice. Pass the turn. Oh no! Wow, I am in trouble. I'm at 7. What to do? I think we're supposed to begin on Experimental Augury, and that did not find Weather the Storm. I guess we take Lotus Petal, play the Lotus Petal. Maybe I'm supposed to just Infectious Inquiry here? I just don't know the answer. Oh, Contentious Plan. Steady Progress. So I have to draw like Basic Island or Lotus Petal plus Weather the Storm. Infectious Inquiry. I drew the Weather, but not the untapped land. Devastating here. Okay, we are dead. In hindsight, if I had known that's how the turn was going to play out, I could have thrown away my depletion land and tried to level up the Everflowing Chalice, but seems a little risky to me. Let's try cutting the deep analysis. We'll keep Moment's Peace, or we'll bring in Moment's Peace and try this. On the play for game number 2. Sure, we'll keep. We'll play Hickory Woodlot, pass the turn. Goblin Tomb Raider. Yep, we'll play Everflowing Chalice. Land number 2. They attack for 2, we'll go to 18. Goblin Blast Runner. Play Hickory Woodlot. I'm just going to pass here. So they could have a Pyroblast. I want a steady progress. And why would I if they're going to Pyroblast, let's make them tap mana on their own turn. Synthesizer reveals a Goblin Tomb Raider. They play the Tomb Raider. They have 4 cards. Let's attempt a steady progress. That resolves. Infectious Inquiry. I'm going to try a Moment's Peace. Prevents 5 damage. Better than nothing. Peat Bog. We'll play the Bog. We'll play Insight here. And they do have the Pyroblast. So am I supposed to play out the Petal to bluff that I'll Moment's Peace? Like, I don't know the answer. So I guess I'm passing the turn. They play Voldaren Epicure. That puts me to 17. They attack for 5. No blocks. They discard a mountain to the blood token, so I can prevent 7 here. Okay, I guess I'll Moment's Peace. They play a land, 2 cards left in hand. Contentious Plan. We'll start with an Infectious Inquiry here, because if I hit an island, I can save my Saprazzan Skerry. I did not hit an island. We'll play Peat Bog, play Insight, and this one resolves. I have to hope they don't kill me from 15 life with 2 cards plus a draw step. Well, that's a Galvanic Blast for 4. Voldaren Epicure puts me to 10. Oh, I'm super dead here. Yeah, we just got steamrolled twice by Mono Red. Alright, so we went 3-2. What did I think of the deck list? I loved the snaps. I do think that maybe we need to reconsider a couple things. One, I would probably cut an island and I would put in Sandstone Needle. And then I think I would cut 2 Fairy Macabres and I would put in 2 Breath Weapons into the sideboard. We need more against Mono Red. Like, their ability to go wide, I really missed Breath Weapon in this league. My previous video had Breath Weapons in this. This build did not. So I would probably cut 1 island. I would put 2 Breath Weapon in the board. Add in a Sandstone Needle, probably call it a day. You could look at cutting the deep analysis from the sideboard. That is another possible flex spot, but I loved the main deck for the most part. I thought it was really well tuned. Unfortunately, losing to Mono Red happens, but the deck impressed me. That's all I have to say. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. Hey you, yeah you, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, and if you're interested, you can visit theepicstorm.com/donation-decks to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel. You can even join me in a video in the Epic tier, it's totally worth it, I promise, and see ya, thanks for watching.